One of the great new features with our Google Apps is the integration now with EasyBib. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Logins page and go into my Google Apps account. One of the self-supported apps on the right that you will see is EasyBib. Now the link is currently not working, and this means the link that's been removed here, and also at the top of the screen in the black bar, when you're in any of the Google Apps, you'll see under the More menu, and one of the ones that's often listed once you are logged in, you'll see it right there under Aviary, is EasyBib. That link will not work. So the directions over here direct us to go to EasyBib.com and log in with our Google Apps account. I'm going to go ahead and do that. The important thing to remember when you get here is to log in with your Google account for school. If you have a personal Gmail, don't use that one unless you want your Works Cited page to end up there. But particularly when we're working with students, we'll click on the Google Login feature over on the right, and we'll ask them to type in their ID number at jeffcoschools.us, for you at your ESS at jeffcoschools.us, and the password associated with that account. Click Sign In. You'll be redirected to EasyBib, and it shows all of the projects that are associated with your account. I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. And I'm going to call this Mentos Experiment. I'm going to keep it MLA 7 and click the Create button. Now that I have all my projects listed, I need to just go in and work on the bibliography. Alright, right now I have no citations, I'm just getting started from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to do is cite the book that we used. Now we used a book from my library, but of course I don't have it with me. However, if I go into the library catalog, and if I go into the catalog and do a quick search, I bet I can recognize the title. So I'm just going to type in here, Science Experiments, because I know it was one of our books on science experiments. And I'm going to scroll down. That is the one we used. I recognize the cover. Now a student, if they have the title of a book, you can actually search that right in EasyBib. I'm going to switch back, and you can just type in the title of a book here. I'm going to make sure I go to the Book tab, or you can search by ISBN, which is usually the most accurate way to get the exact match for the correct version. So I'm going to go back to the library citation, and sure enough, right down here, it includes the ISBN number. So I'm just going to copy this, take it back over to EasyBib, and I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to click Cite This. Now, sometimes more than one will come up, but since I did an ISBN search, I get one match, and I'm going to go ahead and just check the title. That's the right book. I'm going to click Select. EasyBib will now generate the citation for me. It gives me a chance to look through and see if there's anything I want to change. I'm looking to make sure all the fields are filled in and everything looks very accurate, so I just go down to the bottom and click Create Citation. If I needed to edit any of those fields, I could. So this is great. I can see a preview of the citation up here, and I can see my bibliography in progress right down here. So let's say then the next source that I found was in a database, and what's wonderful now about databases is they typically provide the citation for us. Now EasyBib does have a manual entry form, but really if you're in a database and all you have is the completed citation, it's kind of a waste of time to go in and then fill this all back in. So instead I'm going to just go back to this main bibliography page where I can cite websites, books, or newspapers. I'm going to go find that article. This is from the Gale Science and Context database. It's a great article on Mentos, the Mentos Coke experiment. Tells me exactly what I need. And at the bottom of just about every article in a database, or somewhere along the side, there's usually a feature that says Cite This. Right here at the bottom it has it for me in MLA format. So this is great. All I need to do is highlight this and copy it. Now I want to get this into EasyBib. So I'm going to go back to EasyBib. And one of the great features over here, instead of doing a manual entry, I'm going to just do a simple copy-paste. So if you go into all 58 options, you'll see over here under Other is write or just paste a citation from scratch. I'm going to choose that option. And I'm simply going to paste in my entry. I'm going to click Create Citation. And there it is. Looks great. And I can see it also appearing down here in my cumulative bibliography. One last one, of course, to cite. Typically the hardest for students would be websites. So I found a great website under Steve Spangler Science on the original Mentos experiment. And so all I need to do is copy the URL to get started. So I'm just going to highlight his address, copy it, and go back to EasyBib, and I want to make sure I'm on the correct tab. I am, website, and then I will just paste in the address. Now websites are a little more hit and miss, so I'm going to click Cite this and see what is left for me to fill in. So based on the coding in the website, EasyBib was able to fill in all of these fields. What it wasn't able to fill in were the ones that are in red. So sometimes that's simply not available on a website, sometimes it is. I need to go look to see if I can find an author on this website. So when I switch over, I'm looking for an author's name at the top or the bottom of this article. Sometimes I can find kind of an About Us link. I'm guessing this is probably by Steve Spangler, but it could be by one of his staffers also. And I can't tell for sure, so I'm just going to leave that field blank because I can't find a direct answer. I go back to EasyBib and see what else. Publisher or sponsor of the site. So this is the group that publishes the site. Well, that I can typically find out. It's often the same as the name of the website. So I'm going to look down at the bottom, and I see it's copyrighted by Steve Spangler Science. So that's who I'm going to use as my publisher of this website. The last field is when it's electronically published, and websites are notorious for not including dates. Let's see if we have one though on our Steve Spangler site. And I can see it says 2011, which will work. So I'm going to go back. It doesn't have any more specific of a date than that. So I'm going to leave these two fields blank, and I will type in 2011. Scroll down to the very bottom and click Create Citation. This is what my citation looks like. I can preview it. It looks good. And it also appears down here. Alright, so my bibliography looks great. I've got my 3 citations. Now I want to get this into Google Docs, so I could add my name, add it to maybe my research document that is going to go with it. And so what I'll do is put it into Google Docs. Probably the easiest way to do that is simply click Save as Google Doc. You can also select all your citations and export to those citations to Google Doc, but I'm just going to use the Save as Google Doc button. You will be prompted by Google to allow access to your docs from EasyBib, and so you do need to grant access. And then it informs me that this is now my Google Docs. So let's go check. I'm going to go to Google Docs. And the formatting looks terrific. I'm not crazy about the name of the document, so I'll probably just click the name of this EasyBib with the really long number, and I will rename it. And that is how you can use EasyBib to nicely integrate a very quick and easy Works Cited tool for students or you to use in any of the projects you might need.